Welcome to our channel. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. Silence is one of the great arts of conversation. Friendship improves happiness and abates misery by the doubling of our joy and the dividing of our grief. Glory follows virtue as if it were its shadow. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. A home without books is a body without soul. Nothing is more noble, nothing more venerable than fidelity. Faithfulness and truth are the most sacred excellences and endowments of the human mind. It is not by muscle, speed, or physical dexterity that great things are achieved, but by reflection, force of character, and judgment. The enemy is within the gates. It is with our own luxury, our own folly, our own criminality, that we have to contend. The wise are instructed by reason, average minds by experience, the stupid by necessity, and the brute by instinct. The safety of the people shall be the highest law. Live as brave men, and if fortune is adverse, front its blows with brave hearts. What then is freedom? The power to live as one wishes. Any man is liable to err, only a fool persists in error. A man of courage is also full of faith. While there's life, there's hope. There is nothing so absurd that some philosopher has not already said it. Brevity is a great charm of eloquence. Peace is liberty in tranquility. The function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil. The greatest pleasures are only narrowly separated from disgust. A friend is, as it were, a second self. The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory. It is the peculiar quality of a fool to perceive the faults of others and to forget his own. Memory is the treasury and guardian of all things. Cultivation to the mind is as necessary as food to the body. Not cohabitation, but consensus constitutes marriage. Never go to excess, but let moderation be your guide. If we are not ashamed to think it, we should not be ashamed to say it. Love is the attempt to form a friendship inspired by beauty. I prefer tongue-tied knowledge to ignorant loquacity. The harvest of old age is the recollection and abundance of blessing previously secured. Nobody can give you wiser advice than yourself. Let us not listen to those who think we ought to be angry with our enemies and who believe this to be great and manly. Nothing is so praiseworthy, nothing so clearly shows a great and noble soul as clemency and readiness to forgive. The precepts of the law are these: to live honestly, to injure no one, and to give everyone else his due. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. Hatred is inveterate anger. Nothing is so unbelievable that oratory cannot make it acceptable. Whatever you do, do with all your might. As fire, when thrown into water, is cooled down and put out, so also a false accusation, when brought against a man of the purest and holiest character, boils over and is at once dissipated, and vanishes, and threats of heaven and sea, himself standing unmoved. True nobility is exempt from fear. As I approve of a youth that has something of the old man in him, so I am no less pleased with an old man that has something of the youth. He that follows this rule may be old in body, but can never be so in mind. The pursuit, even of the best things, ought to be calm and tranquil. He only employs his passion who can make no use of his reason. Freedom is a possession of an estimable value. It is the nature of every person to err, but only the fool perseveres in error. The nobler a man, the harder it is for him to suspect inferiority in others. If you pursue good with labor, the labor passes away, but the good remains. If you pursue evil with pleasure, the pleasure passes away, and the evil remains. The countenance is the portrait of the soul, and the eyes mark its intentions. Great is our admiration of the orator, who speaks with fluency and discretion. Next to God, we are nothing. To God, we are everything. Rashness belongs to youth, prudence to old age. I criticize by creation, not by finding fault. In everything, truth surpasses the imitation and copy. Before beginning, plan carefully. Nothing stands out so conspicuously or remains so firmly fixed in the memory as something which you have blundered. Justice consists in doing no injury to men, decency in giving them no offense. Nature has planted in our minds an insatiable longing to see the truth. For how many things, which for our own sake we should never do, do we perform for the sake of our friends? In everything, satiety closely follows the greatest pleasures. A tear dries quickly when it is shed for troubles of others. Ability without honor is useless. One who sees the supersoul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the supersoul is ever destroyed, actually sees. The higher we are placed, the more humbly we should walk. Thanks for watching. Which quote did you enjoy the most? Please share your opinion in the comments and don't forget to subscribe.